Yes, inflation, cost of living is going up all over the world.
The burdens of high inflation
นะครับพุ่งสูงถึง 7%
Bereits nur 3% Inflation.
What the f is inflation?
Oh my god, I need to put these back.
And here in Thailand, chicken breast is up 30%, pork is through the roof, petrol is at record highs, electricity bills are going to go up in the next couple of months, and even my bottle of Leo, which has been at the same price for about the last 10 years, has increased by 3 baht. And yes, while it might be transitory, not only inflation, you've got currency collapses. It's happened to the pound back in 2008, where you could get 75 baht to the pound, and up until just before COVID, it went down to 36. So when you actually plan to move somewhere, that set amount of money you put aside, well, it might not be enough. So flexibility and being able to adapt is key. But what if I told you you live here in Thailand, 30% less, and have a more fulfilling time here in the process? Now, a lot of these techniques, as I like to call them, have been picked up over the years. So I'd like to share these with you. If you guys have got any other ways of, maybe cutting back on those monthly outgoings, pop them down in the comment section below. Right, let's get started. Try and stay away from the Western style restaurants. They're overpriced, unhealthy, and they harm your wallet. You need to find 3 types of restaurants. Find the best Somtam restaurant shop in town. Find the best rice shop, one dish meals, those Plat Kapaos, American fried rice restaurants. Finally, the best noodle shop in your local area, which can take time, but it's fun and it's worth it. Now, it can be a little bit intimidating going into a local restaurant, you don't know the language, but you end up improving your Thai language skills. You learn to order your favourite dish in Thai. You end up making friends with the proprietor of the restaurant. I have a chat with my chicken and rice guy every time I'm in there. I get bigger portions. I always compliment the meal and just save money. So it's a win-win situation. And if you do have a hot date, you can take him or her to these places and show off your local restaurant knowledge. Now, the last 5 years have seen a massive rise in Grab, Food Panda, these delivery services that are great. I mean, you can order something on your phone and it's with you within 10-15 minutes. My wife's family live off Grab and Food Panda. And you end up spending a fortune. You don't know what you're getting, really. You see the pictures on the app, but you can end up being disappointed, and I usually am. You can use these apps, but you will be paying more for delivery. If you found your local restaurants, as I said, stick to those. And maybe use Grab occasionally. But my wife's family, they live off it, and they end up spending a fortune. So Grab, Food Panda, 7-Eleven deliveries, use them sparingly. Next one is stay clear of the High So restaurant. Now, the telltale signs are there are a few Beamers or Mercs in the car park, usually a pretentious carp pond, and Thais absolutely love these places. I actually had the worst green curry of my life in one of these restaurants, and it cost me 250 baht. You will be spending 10 times the amount you could spend on the street. And when you do look in these menus, and I have done, and see pad thais or fried rices for 200 baht, I'm just like, they don't even taste as good as something that's just literally 100 meters away. So if you see any weird themed restaurant with lots of places to take selfies, that's another giveaway. There's usually like a big heart and you see lots of people doing that. Run. Finally, cook it yourself. Now, I ended up cooking Thai food myself through necessity. I live in the sticks and sometimes there isn't a restaurant that close. But it's so easy. And let's say Pad Krapao Mu, which is like the fried pork with basil dish, which everyone knows. All you need is a bit of pork, some basil leaves, chilies, some fish sauce, some oyster sauce. Boom. Literally 5 minutes, you got a meal. One thing I have to say is it's healthier. A lot of the street food tends to be quite greasy and high fat. Now, it took me 10 years to find my restaurants that do it the way I like it. But now I'm at home, it goes beyond that. I get it exactly the way I want it, the exact right heat. Well, you end up saving a lot of money in the long run. You learn about Thai cooking and you get exactly what you want. So it's kind of a win-win situation again. I hate shopping, but I learn a lot from my wife about food shopping here, and she hits the morning markets maybe once or twice a week and does all the veg shopping, all the veg stuff, and sometimes fish. And then all the other stuff, my bits, my little mayonnaise, my beans and pork and meat from the supermarkets. If you buy everything from the supermarket, the veg and the fruit and everything else tends to be more expensive. And in the high-end supermarkets, well, not high-end, but places like Tops where you can get a lot of imported stuff, you can end up just buying loads of crap you don't need, like digestive biscuits, because you missed having tea with your gran when you were 5 and you had to dunk the biscuits. I've done that before. You just end up buying crap you don't need. So stick to the basics. You can mix up cooking at home with eating out at the local restaurants. And yeah, happy days. Now, my wife is an interesting character. She doesn't mind blowing a load of money in these high-side restaurants, but she loves yellow labels. If you don't know what yellow labels are, in the supermarkets, when it's getting to a certain time of day and they don't think they're going to be able to sell the whole roast chicken or the pork or something they've made, they put yellow labels on it and it's a discount, I don't know, 30%, 20% discount. And she will shop at 4 or 5 in the afternoon knowing that there's going to be some yellow labels coming. I can't be bothered with it all, but I've been with her and it tends to be the same people. They're like circling around the meat counters. They can tell when the little yellow price gun is coming out and all the eyes go up. And usually old grannies and my wife. And yeah, but you do get a good deal. I mean, she picks up a load of fish, end up throwing most of it out, to be honest with you. But the fact she's getting a good deal keeps her happy, which keeps me happy. But it is, if you are going to shop, pop down to the big C's, the Tesco's, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and you might pick up some bargains. Drinking water. I drink a lot of water. I mean, in the hot season, I drink up to 4 litres of water a day. I'm out in the garden, sweating, and you need to drink a lot of water, but you can't drink out the tap. So you can either buy mountain loads of plastic bottled water, which I was doing, which actually ends up, pushing those bills way up. So you can get these water filters that you can put in under your sink, and that will save you a hell of a lot of money in the long run. You can get the local white things, but it's just chemical chlorine crap, and you're better off getting a filter. Right, shopping for general things. I don't usually have a problem with double pricing, foreigner price, Thai price. Maybe in the bigger cities you do. When I did live in the big cities, I usually just had, even when I didn't speak any Thai, I had a technique. I learned how to say, how much is this? Any Thai Dai. And I would say it with authority. I'd walk into a shop and I wouldn't actually pick up the thing I wanted. I'd pick up something else and say, I need Thai Dai. And when I got the response, I'd give them the, okay, it's a little bit expensive, put it down. And then I'd go to the actual item I wanted and say, I need Thai Dai. So they think, oh, he speaks a bit of Thai, he's not straight off the plane. So they might give you a better chance of getting the right price. Alternatively, send the wife in. That's what I did. I usually, if I see something I want, it would be like a little 007 act. I'd be hiding behind the lamppost while she goes in, and she's, if you want to do that, send the girlfriend and the wife in, and it's probably easy. But if you're out on your own, don't just go in there going, staring at something for about half an hour, knowing that he knows that you like it. The shop owner has actually had some time to work out how much he's going to mark it up. And if there's any pause when you ask how much the price, if there's any movement in the eye, it's dodgy. It should be a straight back answer. How much is this? The answer should come back straight away. As for dual pricing at attractions, well, yeah, when you're first here, you might go and see a few places, but I'm not queuing up with my wife and she pays 40 baht and I pay 200-300 baht. It's just not going to happen. And I've been to some fantastic places on this channel and they're free and I give donations. I just think the whole thing is not doing Thailand any favours and a load of nonsense. So I just don't go to these places. That's it. Right, alcohol is getting more expensive, and if you drink a couple of beers like I used to do in the evening, just your regular, I think it's 620 now, they keep shrinking the bottles, 620 bottles of Leo in the evening, you're going to have a 3,000 baht bill. It's $100, well, $100 is $100. That's going up. But if you go out as well and you get ice, and then when you go out to get beers, you get other stuff, beer, snacks, that can all go up to 5,000-6,000 baht a month. And that's not going hard. So there are alternatives now. You've got Happy Leaf number 1 and you've got Happy Leaf number 2. Now, after doing some investigation, I've kind of left Happy Leaf number 1 and I'm on to Happy Leaf number 2. And I make a milk, Happy Leaf milk. That sounds nice, doesn't it? But if you boil it in the milk, it's something to do with the hydrocarboxylation is the word. I'll put it down there. You get the effects without smoking, because I don't want to smoke. So I have my milk in a coffee instead of my evening beer. But But it takes a while to hit you, so you've got to be aware of that. Anything edible in Happy Leaf number 2, you've got to wait. I mean, sometimes it can take 2 hours before suddenly, you could be, I don't know, do something like cutting in a tree, cutting a branch or strimming, and then you find yourself like, in the same spot for 2 hours, or like, making a salad and it's taking you 3 hours. That's happened before. You can find very cheap ones. I've got, how much do I get? 20 grams for 400 baht, which means my whole beer bill, I hardly drink beer now, is way down. So yeah, you can investigate those things. There are pros and cons to all of it. I mean, it's best to be teetotal, but I can't be bothered. I've only got 20 years left, so 25 if I'm lucky, so I don't give a monkeys. But if you do like going out and into your bars, have your drinks beforehand. I mean, this is an old trick anyway. You get your beers in, have a few, or find a cheap restaurant to have your beer, and then you go off to the main drag where where everything's marked up. You can also buy bottles in these clubs, the expensive clubs, it ends up cheaper instead of keep getting shots. But if you're gonna be out on the town getting lashed every night in these expensive places, I mean, if you're rich enough, it doesn't matter anyway. Inflation ain't gonna bother you, but you are gonna be spending bucket loads of money. So there are 2 ways to meet the opposite sex. I mean, you've got your conventional dating and you've got your whoring. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It depends what you're into, but you're going to spend a lot of money if you partake in the latter. Now, there are loads of dating apps, but the one that keeps popping up is Thai Friendly. Ryan from Guru in Asia, I think his channel's called, he met his wife on Thai Friendly. I know a couple of other people. Now, there's going to be a lot of time wasters. You've got to separate the wheat from the chaff, but you can meet up for coffees. It's a good way to, have free dates, basically. You don't have to take it any further if she's a bit of a minger or he's a bit of a minger, but you can practice your Thai. There were quite a lot of expats here back in sort of 2010 time, and there was one guy that spoke Thai. He dated the fruit seller. She was a stunning lady. He wasn't going up with a Google Translate on his phone. He was speaking Thai, and he was having dates left, right, and centre. So yeah, learning Thai will get you plenty of dates, and you will meet better quality women as opposed to bar hopping and using Google Translate. So it's a win-win all round. Again. Finally, if you are loaded, keep your cards close to your chest. You'll save money in the long run, believe me. If you're shuffling around in gold flip-flops and a limited edition Chang vest, I've got to cut out the Farang stereotypes, but I can't help it. I see them everywhere. You're going to get rumbled. You're going to be spending more money. If you're showing off, then you've got to keep showing off. You've got to keep up the bravado. So keep your cards close to your chest. Date quality women. You're good to go. Right, now if you're renting, try and find a condo or a housing project or whatever which has a good gym. Not all the gyms are that good. They might just have a couple of crappy running machines, but some are really good. They've got the whole weight rack thing there. Hunt around for one with a good gym, and they will save you on gym fees. Also, when looking for that condo, your dream apartment, try and find one that has government electric and government water. Now, this is quite difficult. Most of the condo owners whack on their own little levy, and you end up paying quite a lot. But my daughter, who's at a condo in Pathum Thani, just at the north of Bangkok, is on government and electric water, and her bills are very low. So try and find that out. If you're contacting agents on Facebook or online, ask about government electric and water. Also, try and find a place that's walking distance to the local market or even the supermarket, so you can go out, go for a walk, get your exercise, pick up your bits, so you kind of save on public transport. And on that note, don't think, oh, it's fine, I'll ride a bicycle. If you ride a bicycle in Bangkok or anywhere in Thailand, you are at the lowest part of the food chain. You're just above a street dog. So, there's so many fatalities on bicycles here. You're better off going on, the motorbike taxis. You're better off going on public transport, scrap the bicycle, just try and get something in walking distance. Honourable mentions are, I use AIS, which is an internet provider for my 4G, which is basically you don't need Wi-Fi. If you're looking to rent a property, not all condos come with Wi-Fi, and it saves you having to get something installed for an internet connection. You can run other devices off that 4G network. AIS is apparently the best, according to my wife and Annie, and paying $2.99 a month for that. And I don't bother with Netflix and buying all this satellite TV stuff. I just use one of these dodgy websites. Well, I don't know, I've been using it for about 3 years, and I do have a Bitdefender antivirus and also an ad block, and I get to watch anything I want in HD. And I watched Elvis the other day. I watch all my crime documentaries, all in HD and free. But yes, make sure you got an antivirus. So in conclusion, you don't have to live like a poor man, but it's a really odd times we're living in now. I mean, the volatility in the stock market, if you're living off your investments, I'd be a little bit worried. You've got your currency markets are flying up and down. There's inflation, as we all know, going through the roof. But the process of actually learning to, live 30% less, as I've shown in the video, you actually get some benefits. And, by learning the language, by hunting out these local restaurants, getting out there, meeting people, speaking Thai, you will actually have a better quality of life, and you will save money. There are guys out there, and I know that I was one of them, who's completely dependent on their wife, completely dependent on the girlfriend, and also just won't eat local food. They only eat in the Western restaurants. But if the shit does hit the fan, you don't know how to live any other way. You're like a fish out of water. So incorporating some of these things I talked about could be very beneficial to you. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments, suggestions, whatever, down in the comment section below. And on that note, I'll say stay safe, stay well. I'll see you in the next video.